Hello, and welcome back for part 2 of my Olympic National Park adventure. We left off in the Hoh Rainforest on my 2-night backpacking trip to Blue Glacier. I had hiked a 20-something mile day and was exhausted. In this video, we'll be jumping back in with the morning of day 2 on the Hoh River Trail to Blue Glacier. Good morning. It is 8:30-ish. So I'm thinking the plan for today is leave my tent where it is, do another little day out and back, but this time try to make it all the way up to Glacier Meadows, because it seems to be that's what people are doing. So it must be a pretty good view up there. Yeah, off on today's journey.
I know, the boats would have one. Like from like 1840 and very close to Smoky. Look at the
I'm almost to the top of Blue Glacier, and it is so foggy. This is a tough hike. So I made it to the top of Blue Glacier, but there is no view. It is so foggy, which probably means I should head back down before there's a storm. But look how cool this ridge is on both sides. I had to climb through a little bit of snow. I'm a little nervous to go back. That ladder was precarious. So, and look at my arm. I don't know if you could tell. It is so misty. I should probably put my poncho on. Anyway, I made it! Yes! Good, feels good. Feels real good. I just wish I had a view. I feel like I am in the clouds right now. This is so cool. Making my way back down. It is hot. I'm almost back to my campsite. It's been a long day. It is now 5:30 and I'm ready to lay down, eat some food, relax. Good morning. I am currently hiking out of the woods back to the trailhead. Yesterday I I don't know, I didn't really know what to do on this trail. I just had planned the campsites, and I decided I was just gonna see how I felt when I got here to decide what I wanted to do. And my first night, I arrived at the campground around 11, so I wanted to kind of do something else with my day, so I figured I'd go hike. I saw on the map Elk Lake was up ahead with a bit of a climb, so I did that without my pack, came back to the campsite. It was a long day. I did like 23 miles that first day, and that night so many more people arrived at the campsite than there are campsites. I have a feeling a lot of people are not adhering to the permits, and so I got nervous that if I left that spot, I wasn't gonna get another spot, especially because it's the 4th of July weekend, so it's a really busy time in the park. But anyway, I decided I'll just camp there a second night, leave my tent set up. This way my spot's already claimed, and I would go climb up to Blue Glacier and back without my pack. And as I started hiking, I met this father and son who were really friendly. They're from Idaho. Along our journey, we kept hearing about this ladder that was coming up ahead. And am I going the right way? This ladder was pretty treacherous, and if I was alone and I didn't see anybody else go ahead of me, I don't think I would have done it, honestly. So it was nice to see other people go ahead of me, and it wasn't as hard or as scary as I thought it would be going up and down it. But once we got to like where the glaciers and the snow started, it was really beautiful, lots of little wildflowers, but it was so misty and cloudy you couldn't see anything. So standing up on the ridge, I mean, you can see where you're standing, but you can't see much beyond that aside from clouds. So anyway, I made it back down to the campsite. I was feeling really tired, so I kind of just went to bed. And today I'm looking forward. I have a really cute Airbnb reserved that has a shower, so I'm really excited to stay there. It's on the beach, and take a shower, get clean, maybe do some laundry. I'm not sure if they have laundry there, but that would be a nice perk. Anyway, the camp host, or the person who runs this Airbnb, told me that I have a front row view for the fireworks tonight, which I'm surprised they're not banned because of the proximity to the national forest and national park, because it's pretty not good for the environment and the animals and the wildlife. Anyway, I'm just gonna enjoy myself here, read my book. Maybe I'll have a fire. There's a little bonfire pit out there. I guess I won't be going to bed until the fireworks end. I see some seals swimming around in the water, which is cool. Well, I'm all packed up and ready to go. I'm pretty sad to leave this campsite because this was one of the coolest campsites I've ever stayed at. I don't know if you can really call it a campsite, but it is called a campground when you drive into here. But anyway, this was an Airbnb I reserved near the Port Angeles area. It was amazing. And I have great weather today, so I'm really excited to get in a little bit of hiking and also to get in another good meal. All right, let's go. Let's start the day. You know what else I noticed? You could see the waterfall from here.
Oh, no way.
Oh, look at this.
Good morning. Hello. Good morning. So last night I stayed at the Fairholme campground on Lake Crescent. The lake is like this really clear, bright blue color. It's a really beautiful lake, and some of the sites were right on the lake shore. I should have gone down there and looked a little bit better because there were some open sites, but I just went to the one that I had reserved. But when I got there, it was pretty rainy, and it rained for like 2 hours pretty hard last night, from like 2 to 4 a.m. But when I woke up this morning, underneath my sleeping pad was all wet, so there must be a hole somewhere, I'm thinking. But anyway, packing all that stuff up was not fun because it was really wet and dirty. I'm still learning how to master packing up camp after it rains. Like, what do you do with all your dirty, wet stuff. I hate putting it back in my backpack all wet. So I just kind of laid it out all around my trunk, trying to space it out and let it dry. I'm hoping the sun will come out so I can lay it out in the parking lot somewhere. And right now, ooh, I'm getting views. I'm heading up to Hurricane Ridge. This is a really beautiful road, and there's been lots of deer all along the side. Looks like I'm coming up to the top now. I can't wait to show you guys the view. I don't really have a plan for the rest of the day. I'm staying somewhere in Olympia, I believe, tonight. So I'm just gonna be stopping at places along the way for the rest of the day. That's the plan. Look that way with your thing. Go that way. Why? That's cute. Just look. How would they survive without shoes? So here's a map of the Olympic Peninsula. My first night I spent at Quinault Lake. Then I drove down somewhere around here, hiked out Enchanted Valley, and then back. Stayed a night over here. Then I drove around to the Hoh Rainforest. It's down there. But if you look, I climbed all the way up to Blue Glacier over there, then back down. That took me 3 days. And then, where did I go? Oh, then I came around. And I stayed somewhere near Port Angeles. This was a nice little town. Got a lot going on there. Currently, I am here. But last night I stayed at the Fairholme campground on Crescent Lake, and I hiked to Marymere Falls and up to that ridge, actually right here, Storm King. So I hiked up this little mountain, had a view of the lake, and then today I drove up to Hurricane Ridge. The rest of the day I'm going to be spending looping back around here, and I'll be spending the night somewhere down there. So all the way at the end of the road there is a short 1.6 mile trail to Hurricane Ridge, which is the trail that I'm on now. It is a pleasant surprise that it's actually a paved trail, so I didn't have to put my hiking boots on. They're all wet, so I'm glad I didn't have to. But good to know, because this is super accessible if you have a wheelchair or a stroller with kids. This is a very doable trail. It does get a little incline here, but I think I'm going to get some good views at the top. I could see a little bit coming out over there. Silly me forgot to bring my poncho, and now the clouds rolled in and it's starting to drizzle, so I had to turn around about halfway and go back. Look at that. Do not want to be caught in a storm with my camera. I'm trying to protect it. After leaving Hurricane Ridge, I started my drive back towards Seattle, and I decided to stop and check out a waterfall that I saw along the way called Rocky Brook Falls. And I debated skipping it since I had already seen so many waterfalls on this trip already, but I'm really glad I stopped because it's the biggest one yet. I decided to spend my last day being a tourist in the city of Seattle. So I visited the famous Park Place public market and explored all of the shops inside. During my exploration, I even found an alleyway that was completely covered floor to ceiling in chewing gum. I also got to see the original Starbucks location. I was a barista for Starbucks for 3 years in college, so that was pretty cool to see, but I didn't bother waiting in the long line for some coffee. Overall, this was a wonderful trip, and I'm so happy to be taking home so many great memories from my travels. I'm also really grateful to be able to share it all with you. Thanks so much for listening and watching. Happy trails.